The mob was fed lies. They were provoked by the president and other powerful people.
We've had a rough couple weeks here, and we need to start from the very top all the way to the very bottom. Everyone needs to start working together.
Well, he gave a speech yesterday that supported that. He failed to mention the new president by name. And, it's still, sadly, more of a pity party for himself.
An impeachment trial in the U.S. Senate now set for February 8th. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi expected to send over the lone article of impeachment against former President Donald Trump to the Senate on Monday. And with that, we welcome in our panel for the week. Let's take roll call. Former Democratic Congressman for the 21st District, T.J. Cox, is with us, and former Republican congressional candidate for the 16th District, Kevin Cookingham. Gentlemen, good to have you both. How are you guys?
Great. Good to be here.
Very well, Lyle. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So I want to start with Senate Minority Leader now, Mitch McConnell, breaking really ranks here with former President Trump saying he is responsible and saying, quote, he fed the mob lies. So I'll start with you, Kevin. Tell me first, does that surprise you, for one? And two, do you think this is constitutional to have an impeachment trial now that he's gone from office?
Yeah, it really did surprise me what he said and what Mitch McConnell said. And of course, Alan Dershowitz, he says it's not legal to go forward with this, but there's a disagreement. You can hear it on both sides. And so this will be a test because as we've talked about before, impeachment is removing somebody from office. And of course, he is no longer president of the United States. So we'll see what comes out of all this. We've got experts on both sides that disagree.
And TJ, I know if you were still in Congress, I'm pretty sure you would have voted to impeach President Trump in the House. And of course, your successor there in David Valadao, he did, in fact, impeach President Trump. What do you make of that? And what do you make of this this notion that Mitch McConnell seems to possibly vote against President Trump, the former president?
Well, Alexander, Donald Trump was impeached by the House of Representatives by the largest majority ever. And as he said, that now the trial is going to go to the Senate, where the question is whether or not he provoked that attack on the Capitol. Mitch McConnell said he did. David Valadao said he did. People know what the truth is. And the fact is, yes, you can impeach a former elected official, a former official of the U.S. government. The precedent has already been set. And it's not to just remove from office, but it is an indictment, whether or not they were found guilty of the charges upon which they were impeached for. And I think the answer to that is clearly yes. And then you're going to follow that up with the 14th Amendment to prevent that member, Donald Trump in this case, from ever holding office again.
All right, I want to move on to President Biden's inaugural speech, calling for unity, resolve, and, the speech, 21 minutes. I want to get your take from both of you on, is it enough to heal this nation, as he started using his presidential powers in signing a lot of executive orders, unraveling a lot of Trump's policies? TJ, I'll start with you.
No, thanks again. I thought the tone and the substance of Joe Biden's inaugural speech was exactly what the nation needed to be here. It was very much a malice towards none, charity to all speech. Unity was mentioned, 8 times? And I thought it was very notable that, he brought up his faith quite a bit. He mentioned God 4 times. And if you've been following his speeches, and he said it a couple times now, just to drive home the point that he's going to work just as hard for the people that didn't vote for him as those who did. And with respect to healing our contentious political divide, every president sets the moral and cultural tone of a nation, and what we saw on Wednesday is what we're going to get over the next 4 years.
Kevin, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's really difficult to overcome over 4 years of attacks on President Trump by one speech. It just doesn't happen. My graduate work is in marriage, family, child counseling, and if a husband was degrading his wife over and over again for 4 years, and then found out she was going to divorce him and was going to lose half of his and her money to her, and then said, well, "Hey, we got to have unity here." It really doesn't mean a lot. It rings hollow. When Trump was inaugurated, the far left, the Democrats, were talking about impeachment just a few minutes after that, and they've been at it ever since. So I think his words ring hollow. He's already shut down, 11,000 jobs that he's going to be shutting down on the pipeline. Remember, President Trump said, "You be careful with his words. He's going to start dealing with energy and destroying energy and jobs." And he's already doing that. TJ mentioned his Catholic belief that, he mentioned God and so forth, but he's not in good standing with the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church is pro-life, and he's already signing executive orders to start giving taxpayer money across the nations of the world for abortions. And so you can say all you want, but it's what you do that matters.
All right, I want to move on. I want to move on to this because we have about just a few seconds, but really this is heavy stuff because Madam Vice President Kamala Harris, not only the first woman of color to hold the second highest of office in the land, but also the first Californian to be in the White House since Nixon. Will she have to champion California and make progressives happy to keep her presidential hopes later down the line intact? TJ, I'll start with you.
Well, it's certainly nice to have a California native, right, in the executive branch, somebody that could be president. So she's she is going to present the interests and the needs of California, who are also going to be forefront of her mind. In California, with such a rich diversity of people, you're going to see that reflected in the policies coming out of the Biden administration. You're already seeing that reflected in the cabinet, the most diverse cabinet ever, and really a cabinet that's made up of people with skills and the capabilities that are going to be able to take our economy forward. So we'll have an economy that lifts all boats. That's going to make a positive difference.
Kevin, finish it up. You got a couple seconds.
Yeah, just really quick in regards to Kamala Harris. They keep saying they want to make the rest of the nation like California, where everybody's leaving California. California is an absolute mess. The last thing this nation wants is to be like California, so it concerns me greatly.
All right, guys, a lot more to come, including what's President Trump going to do next. We'll get your thoughts on that. Up next, the fallout of the deadly riots on the Capitol. How vulnerable is the U.S. to another attack? The former Secretary of Defense, Leon Panetta, joins me exclusively.